A very good day to you. This is Leaders Are Readers, and I'm your host, Doc Ant, and with me, the one and only Daniel von Sel. How's it, Daniel? Great to have you on here tonight.
Doing great. Thanks.
And as you know, we have been busy with this series, the God Memorandum, the greatest miracle in the world. And tonight, we're looking at part five, the last part of this God Memorandum, letter from God Himself to mankind. Daniel, I don't know about you, but I mean, I've been blown away. It has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's like whenever we do an episode, it's like better, better, better. And now we're coming to the crux of everything. So it's amazing. I'm so looking forward to this.
Absolutely. Okay, but like what we've done is we are going to listen to the one and only Wanda Kay, her beautiful, tranquil voice in terms of the last section of the book from 29 minutes and 6 seconds till the very end, 33 minutes and 19 seconds for those who are listening in or those who have got their own books. Okay, so let's just get your share screen and it's going to be over to Wanda Kay.
You done with this tremendous force? Look at yourself. Think of the choices you've made in your life and recall now those bitter moments when you would fall on your knees if only you had the opportunity to choose again. What is past is past. And now you know the fourth great law of happiness and success. Use wisely your power of choice. Choose to love rather than hate. Choose to laugh rather than cry. Choose to create rather than destroy. Choose to persevere rather than quit. Choose to praise rather than gossip. Choose to heal rather than wound. Choose to give rather than steal. Choose to act rather than procrastinate. Choose to grow rather than rot. Choose to pray rather than curse. Choose to live rather than die. Now you know that your misfortunes were not His will. For all that power He vested in you, and the accumulation of deeds and thoughts which placed you on the refuse of humanity were your doing, not His. God's gifts of power were too large for your small nature. Now you've grown tall and wise, and the fruits of the land will be yours. You are more than a human being. You are a human becoming. You are capable of great wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Who else among His creatures has mastered fire? Who else among His creatures has conquered gravity, has pierced the heavens, has conquered disease and pestilence and drought? Never demean yourself again. Never settle for the crumbs of life. Never hide your talents from this day hence. Remember the child who says, "When I am a big boy." But what is that? For the big boy says, "When I grow up." And then the grown-up, he says, "Well, when I'm wed." But to be wed, what is that after all? The thought then changes to, "When I retire." And then retirement comes and he looks back over it and somehow he's missed it. And it's gone. Today, this day, enjoy this day today, and tomorrow, tomorrow. You have performed the greatest miracle in the world. You've returned from a living death. You will feel self-pity no more, and each new day will be a challenge and a joy. You've been reborn. But just as before, you can choose failure and despair, or success and happiness. The choice is yours. The choice is exclusively yours. He can only watch us before in pride or sorrow. Remember then the four laws of happiness and success. Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. Go another mile. Use wisely your power of choice. And one more, to fulfill the other four. Do all things with love. Love for yourself, love for all others, and love for God. Wipe away your tears. Reach out, grasp His hand, and stand straight. Let's cut away the grave claws that have bound you. This day you've been notified. You are the greatest miracle. in the world.
Wow,
Wow.
stuff. Powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. Short and sweet, but there is so many nuggets in this little session, Daniel. We are going to just flatten it. Now, it ended last time because we spoke about I've never withdrawn your great power, the power to choose, which means that you and
Yes.
I are given the power to choose. But then he asks a question. What have you done with this tremendous force? I actually think there's such a sense of responsibility for you and I to say, but what have we done with our power to
Yeah.
choose? Have we neglected it? Have we secured it? Have we treasured it? What have we done? What is your take on that one?
That's always powerful for me because we've got all these, as we look before, as we go, every chapter that, or every section that we did now from this chapter is like they're adding on to all of the stuff. First it was the skin, and then, from the outside, then we went from the inside, and then all the powers to choose and stuff like that. And to see that we've got all of that stuff, and then what have we done with it? I mean, there's nothing wrong with us to succeed. There's nothing that's going to stop us from succeeding, but yet we didn't use the powers that we've been given. So I think that brings that together. It's like, well, you've been given everything, so now the question is back on you, what you've done with it.
That's right. And the next two phrases actually bring a chill to my body. Look at yourself. Think of the choices you have made in your life and recall now those bitter moments when you would fall to your knees if only you had the opportunity to choose again. Oh my gosh. Daniel, any regrets on your side? Anything you change?
Before this, yes, but now no, because at the end of the day is you can only, as I always say, you can only do as good as what you know you can do. If you don't know better, you can't do better. So it's for us to, if you don't understand or don't know what you can do with the stuff that you've given, you can't do anything because nobody has taught you. It's like us you're reading the book. Once we didn't know how to read, then somebody taught us how to read. And that's why this book is so powerful, because it teaches you, yes, once you were lost, once you were thinking you were lost, you thought you forgotten all your powers, but this is the powers. Come back to us, like reflect, and you say, look at yourself. So now it's like, yeah, but I've got all these things, but yeah, you're right. I haven't done what I should have done with what I've gotten. And it's always nice, the end where it says it's like, you only had the opportunity, but now it's coming back to you and say, well, there's always a second chance. You can always redo it. You can always restart.
If I look back at my own life, you'd find it strange. I'm a man of faith. And the one thing where I did not choose wisely is I forced my 4 teenagers to go to church twice on a Sunday. Now, I was passionate about my faith. I loved being in the house of the Lord. And I felt it was the right thing to do because, I felt I was leading, I was a role model, and I wanted to show them that I'm prepared to go twice on a Sunday. Little did I realize, as teenagers, they felt over-controlled. They felt I was pushing them to do what they really didn't feel like doing. And, they say, look at yourself, and if only you can fall to your knees and say, if I had that opportunity again, I'll be honest with you, Daniel, I would actually say, God will find those he wants to find. And I was working too hard to do his work for him. It wasn't for me to do it. I just had to be a great father and just be a man of faith. And yes, go to church, but not force my children, because that very thing is what do people do if you force them? They go the opposite way.
Yeah.
So that if I had that past
rebellion, if you force something, yeah.
If you tell a person you will do it, everything you say is, no, I won't. I just think that's the way
that's
it
what
is.
you think.
That's what you think. Yeah, but Daniel, you actually just said the words now. But then he says, what is past is past. So I'm going to give myself a break tonight. When I read this, I did give myself a break, but I wanted to publicly state it and say, what is past is past. And if you're listening in tonight, maybe you need to let go of something.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to say, what is past is past. And I invite you now to type in the bottom and say, whether it's X, Y, or Z, the past is past, and you are not going to judge yourself any longer. You're not going to feel rotten. You are just going to say, what is done is done. Deal? I think that works for people. That is the way
That's
that
awesome.
you should look at it.
Yeah, it also comes down to the three things. There's only three ways or three states that we are in. There's the past, there's the present, and there's the future. Now, the only of those three you can change is the one in the middle, the present, the here and now. That's the only thing that you can change. The past you can't change, but the past is there for us to learn from. That's history. So that's the part we use to learn from. This now when we know better, it's like, oh no, those are the mistakes we made. So that's the past teaching you, don't go there again because this is the fault. That's the teacher of us. And then you have the present, which God says also is a presence, like Christmas. You have a present because you've been gifted this opportunity to be alive right now. This is the only time you can change. The future you can't change because nobody knows what happened tomorrow.
Correct.
But you can look forward to the future. And the present, when you change the present, the future will change as well for you.
No wonder they always say that hindsight is the most accurate form of science. Of course, because it's done. You can't change
always right.
Always right. Well, with Daniel, let's take turns as we take to use wisely your power of choice. And then he starts now he's giving us specific instructions. And I think God is not playing around. He wants us to take each one of these and, as it were, put it on a scale. It's like weigh it. I can see
left or right. Yeah.
And the Americans speak about a teeter-totter. The South Africans speak about what do you call it? A balancing beam.
Probably a balance beam. Yeah.
The balancing beam. All right. So the first is choose to love rather than hate. Now, Daniel, I'll be honest with you. That is one of the hardest things I believe for people to do, because here's the first problem. People are so cruel that they don't love themselves. In fact, there is such a problem with self-hate today and poor self-image that the last person that people often today love is themselves. And my challenge is, buckle up, choose wisely. Your choice is choose to love rather than hate. So that is a call for everybody. So maybe if you're listening in here and you're thinking, well, that's me, I'd like to basically just to give a high five to yourself or put it there in the bottom to say, that's me. I am going to start loving myself and not hate myself. That will be a major, 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 major breakthrough for you. That's the first one. Daniel.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, the next few things that we have to choose between the two, not all, they're not going to be easy, because we're so used to doing the one thing that it's going to be hard to do the other thing. You will also always see the first part that we're going to reach, that's the difficult part, and the other part, that's easy to do. That's like, no, that's easy to hate. Like, I don't like that. I hate that.
So we think. So we
think. Yeah. So you'll see the two, because the one and the only reason for that is because we're so used to the last part that we read now, the second part, that we don't, and we neglected literally the first part, and that's why it might seem foreign to us. Like, no, but why this guy did this bad thing to me? Now, why must I love him for that?
True.
I mean, I hate him for that. No, you need to love him for that, because that's how you forgive yourself first. Because as you said, most people don't love themselves. You need to love yourself first before you can love anything else at the end of the day. And then it goes on to the second one, is choose to laugh rather than cry. I mean, it's easy to cry about something, but it's not so easy to laugh about something when it happens to you. It's like, I always had to learn that also. It's like, well, if you can't change it, then you can't. Why do you cry about it? You can just laugh about it. It's like, oh, well, this is going to happen. So, hey, it happened.
Like someone says, there's no sense in cursing a flat tire. You know what?
Yes.
You've got a flat tire. You might as well laugh and say, oh my gosh, here it is. Then cry about it. It just doesn't work. One thing I was telling you, your mentor, Robert Hollis, now my mentor and friend in my life as well. Man, this dude can laugh at himself. In fact, he just starts speaking, just bursts out laughing. And I must be honest, I find it so easy to converse with him, so easy to talk, because I know there's going to be a chuckle coming through, and like, Yeah, and laugh at yourself, man. Come on, life is not that serious. And I'm so
Yeah,
encouraged.
it puts you on ease, man. It
Yeah.
puts you on ease immediately.
Absolutely. So that's a good one. Okay, my next one.
Yeah.
Choose to create rather than destroy. Let's talk about creation. So what kind of things we talk about create? I think that includes anything, whether it's going to be create a conversation with somebody, create
Yeah.
a new relationship, create a new formula, create a new step of discipline. The choices are there rather than destroy. Because the thing is, when people are not self-disciplined, they are destroying themselves. I look at so many people that are not personally well disciplined. But here's the crucial truth about everybody, that the most sobering thing is that if you love yourself, you would find reason to discipline yourself. Because if you love yourself, you'll make it work. Because loving yourself through discipline is saying no to the immediate things for that which is following or coming later, which will be better.
Yeah.
And I really
Yeah.
think that way you can create a new future rather than destroy what you already have. So I really want to encourage people out there. Say, maybe you need to say to yourself in the physical realm, it's time to create. Maybe you
Yeah.
say to yourself in a social realm, it's time to go and find new friends, a new circle of friends. Maybe emotionally, you need to grow up. If there's one thing I can tell you, I call it the frog principle. You know what the one
Yeah.
frog said to the other frog? Grow up, grow up, grow up, grow up. So that to me is that emotional part of it. Or financially, go and create a better financial
Yeah.
future. And the thing is, one person is never the solution. There is power in numbers. Speak to other people, get people on board with you, work it out together, say, what would you do? And then glean from each other, learn from each other. And then last, of course, there is a way that you can spiritually get on the right road. I mean, we don't all have to have a road to Damascus experience like Saul had. I mean, he was hit by lightning and then he came right. Well, I don't want to be hit by lightning. I'm telling you straight. I'm okay.
Too shocking.
It's too shocking for me. So that's a choice of finding ourselves through those 5 areas in terms of creating a different future for ourselves. So that's my challenge to people out.
Yeah, I would add to that, creators, anything that you can do, whether it's think about it or physically do it. That's what I see as create. And if you look at everything that you mentioned now, it's literally everything that you can do. You can, by changing it. That's what creation is. Creation is, for me, it's not the thinking, it's the actually doing of the thinking. So that's for me, yeah, the action behind it. Yeah.
Well, I must share something personal with you, Daniel. At the age of 43, now that is more than 21 years ago, okay? It's a long time ago. We were actually out on a weekend and it was raining and the adults were out of it. I mean, they had had too much to drink and I just felt this is wasting my time. I can't have any conversation with them. So I went to the children and I started painting with them. Oh my word, did these adults rag me? Oh my dear, his other side is coming out. His artistic side, and they really mocked this thing. And I said to him, oh, come on, guys, I'm just trying it. But you know what happened? My wife looked at me intently and said, you actually look like you're enjoying it. I said, well, I've never done art in my life. I'm 43. For heaven's sake, I've just tried it. And what she did for my birthday, she paid for 5 art lessons. And Daniel, today the paintings in my home are paintings that I painted. I never knew that I could create. So
yeah,
I want to actually just say to you out there, it's never too late. Colonel Sanders found his recipe for KFC on the age of 51. I found out that I could actually do art at the age of 43. It's never too late. Create, don't destroy. Take the next one, Daniel.
And they say choose to persevere rather than quit. It's so easy to, as you say now with your painting as well. It's like it's so easy to quit. I mean, like you could have quit, and when this actually fits in exactly with what you said now. It was so easy to quit when the other people like ridiculed you. It's like, oh, look at this the soft side of Anne.
Yeah.
But yet you persevered, and look what have come. What has expired, or what not expired? What's the word I'm looking for? What has become of what you what you did. We just took it a little step further, and you persevered with it, and now you can do things that you thought you couldn't do, but here we are.
Now I'm thinking of that one movie, Facing the Giants, where this one guy was doing this rugby move, and he told the guy to close his eyes, and he put a guy on his back, and he just pushed him more, and how they that day broke the record of going the furthest he's ever gone, because just when you think you can't do anymore, there's a little bit more to persevere. And I think if we realize that, perseverance in this sense is better than quitting, because man, quitting, who's going to live with the regret? You are. I am.
Yeah.
So I just want to say to you, if you're out there and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I sometimes quit too easily. Well, don't. Quitters don't win, and winners don't
Go
quit.
that extra mile.
That's it. Go for it. Go another mile. Fantastic. The next one is choose to praise rather than gossip. I thought that was a major contrast. Praise people for who they are. Praise people, thank them, bring them into your home, and be so grateful for the value that they're adding, rather than gossip about them. You know, I really feel strongly, if you cannot tell me something in my face, don't tell it to other people. Because, you know, the worst testimony to any person is when a story comes around or something that was said in their absence. So I'm saying to you, if you want to praise a person, do it in his presence. Of course, praising people in their absence is also powerful, but gossiping never is. I can't see any purpose of gossiping. Do you, Daniel?
No, that's gossiping is breaking somebody down, and what I would say, praise is building somebody up. So you're either gonna, I would rather build somebody up and see what greatness they can become, instead of like breaking somebody down. Because gossip is a purposeful thing. You decide to do it, so you decide to break somebody down. That's not gonna work out well for either you nor them.
I always say, how about putting your feet in their shoes? How would you like it if people gossip about you? You might stop gossiping, my friend. It's never nice. Never nice. Well, good luck with the next one. This is a tough one. You take it.
Choose to heal rather than wound.
Context?
That's basically that's basically on the same trend that we are now. It's like instead of hurting somebody, try and heal them instead. Because as you say, you don't know what that person has went through. You haven't walked a mile in their shoes, so you don't know what hurt they are and what hurts them. Maybe if you know that, then you can help them heal in their way as well, to heal them from their problems as well.
Well, it's about relationships. You know, the word relate and ship. Relate says what we do to each other, but the ship says there's movement. There has to be a buoyancy. Yes, relationships are up and down, but a relationship is something that you'd like to really take seriously. That's why I sometimes change the word from relationship to relation shift. Sometimes we need to shift in the way that we work with people, the way that we think, the way that we help ourselves. So, yeah, rather choose to heal rather than wound. So heal relationships with people. Don't go in wounding people. In fact, children are sometimes played nasty. You know, children can hurt each other and say hurtful things, especially if there's somebody with an impediment. You know, one of my best friends actually grew up with cerebral palsy. And this poor dude, as a child, really had bad cerebral palsy. And people used to call him a retard and what have you. And they were cruel. They were basically cruel. And today, when I look at this man, how God has literally, over a period of his lifetime, started healing him and healing him. In fact, 2 months ago, all of a sudden he realized that he can throw his glasses away, that his sight has been fixed.
Restored,
healed, restored 100%, that he now doesn't need glasses. And I thought, wow. And this is the guy with cerebral palsy. So I'm just thinking of how we can wound people where we shouldn't. Okay, the next one. Choose to give rather than steal. Now, the first thing people think of here is money. Yes. Choose to give money, means donate, give, tithe, whatever you want to do, rather than steal. But I want to tell you, apart from money, there's something else that is way more important than money. What about honor? You can actually give someone honor, or you can steal their honor from them. I think that is a disposition I'd never want to be in. I'd like to honor and revere people for who they are. People have worked hard to accomplish certain things. Who are we to come and literally steal that glory from them?
Yeah.
So this in terms of how you honor them. The next thing is time. We need to basically give more time to people. I mean, I can tell you one thing. When you get your deathbed one day, and I'm not speaking as over you, Daniel, I'm just saying, when anybody
Yeah.
gets to one day, the last thing you're going to say is, oh, I wish I just had a little bit more time in the office.
One more time, yeah.
I just want to be in the office a little bit longer. No, you're going to say, I wish I spent more time with myself, more time with my family, more time on traveling, because you want to give yourself the best opportunity, time-wise, to look after yourself and not steal from yourself, because you steal years from yourself. For instance, let's take something else, sleeping. If you're not sleeping well at night, well, make a plan, because you are stealing your health. You're stealing your joy. I can promise you, if you take people and you wake them up every 10 minutes, they will become ratbags, because when people are tired, they are not reasonable.
Grumpy.
Okay, so don't steal your joy from yourself. Next one, Daniel.
Yes, and next one is choose to act rather than procrastinate. So it's so easy to, the simple things in life, it's so easy not to do. It is to do. So it's easy to like, we'll leave it till tomorrow, we'll leave it for later, instead of like just acting on it. Just do it now, because then it's done, and then you don't have to worry about it. But now we kick the tin down the road, as I say. And yeah, so it's better to act immediately. If you want to do something, go and do it. Don't wait for tomorrow or the day after of the right conditions, or no, just go and do it. It's the same with us with doing this book. We could have waited maybe another year and then started doing it.
True.
But no, and you decided let's go and do it. And it's like, okay, yeah, let's do it then. So we acted instead of like thinking about it and overthinking and rethinking and contemplating of thinking, you know, that
not
thing
necessary.
of pushing
But
it
you know
out.
what, Dan? But there's something I would like to just bring into the realm, and that's, as you know, there's 4 different behavioral types. There's drivers, there's influencers, there's supporters, and there's the compliant types. But I want to say to the supporters, those are the people that are the salt of the earth people, but they, generally speaking, battle with procrastination because they're a little bit unsure to put that next foot forward. And I wanted to say, if you are a supportive type, the salt of the earth, and people love you, but you sometimes find like, you just take too long to make a decision, you take too long to get around to doing things. Well, that's called procrastination. What I want to say to you is, give yourself a break. It's who you are. It's because of whose you are. God made you that way. He made you to be the calmer person in the relationship. He made you, when the other people are just pushing and really losing it, that you just say, whoa. But it does have a negative effect. Sometimes you procrastinate long. So I just want to say to you, don't feel guilty. Be who you are. It is what it is, but don't let procrastination rob you of action. I agree with you, Daniel. Wonderful.
100%.
Choose to grow.
And, yeah.
Is that you, me? Choose to grow rather than rot. Now, I think of vegetables immediately. Grow your vegetables rather than let them rot. For me, it has to be produce, and that is that grow. But then again, what about us as human beings? We should grow the inside rather than rot. I mean, we often say that guy's a rotten apple. I mean, one bad apple destroys the entire basket. Have you seen how one person with poor attitude can, like this, bring bad attitude into a room, and just now everybody else is grumpy because they are rotten to the core? This is where the previous one, when you had about laughter, I can see Robert walking and laughing, and then those bad apples just disappear, man, because there's no place for them. There's no place for them. They don't rot in a corner.
And antidote. Yeah, and also with that is exactly the same as we're talking about now of you discovering art again. I mean, that's a talent you had, and once you don't develop it, it literally rots, because then it goes null and void.
Now you've ruined our friendship. Now you've ruined our friendship. I don't have time to art like that. But you know what, Daniel? Every now and then I
No,
pick up a pencil, I pick up and I do.
yes, but
I enjoy it.
look at it. Look at what it done to you. It grown that side of you, that
True.
artistic side of you. So it's a different side of you that you develop now. Instead of
True.
like letting it go, you've developed it. So with that, you can add a lot of things: communication, connecting with people. All of that is that arty side of us that creates that. I mean, you can look back and since you've done that, how you have developed as a person
True.
because of just doing that simple little thing, simple little act that you had,
Yeah.
and you'd grown it instead of like letting it go past and let it rot.
Okay, Daniel, I am going to tell you, I've been spoken to tonight. Thank you. I'm receiving it.
Amazing.
Because, you know, I think that is the basis of, you know, God is speaking to us through a book tonight, but he mostly speaks through people, through circumstance. And that's a word for me. Don't let that gift rot. Use it.
Yes.
You know, even if
Yes.
it brings joy to an old person, hand him something, or to a child, let me use it. Fantastic. You take the next one.
Right. Then it's like choose to pray rather than curse. Now that's an interesting one. So my question is always, okay, now why do you want to curse the guy? No, he did something stupid that hurt me. Instead of like cursing, it's like, yeah, but you rather pray for him because you don't know his situation and why he did what he did. So it's better for us to say, well, God, forgive him forgive me for feeling this way, and forgive him for whatever he is going through, and help him or that person in their struggles, because that's the only reason why they did something to you that makes you want to curse somebody, because it's something bad that they did against you. And instead of like going that way, you need to go say, God, forgive me for this feeling that I have of this curse that I want to put on this person.
Well, I had to really let go once because we were running a conference and there was a pastor. But what I did not know is that he was late, so he didn't have breakfast. And I ran the program a little bit longer, so we didn't have lunch on time. And all of a sudden, this guy took me out six love. And I literally wanted to curse him. I mean, I was not going to pray for him. I was so angry until I found out later on. And he said to me, just excuse me. He left out, and I saw he took his lunchbox with him, and he went and had something to eat. He came back half an hour later and said, I'm very sorry. If I haven't eaten, I just lose it. And I actually realized that I was part of the problem. So instead of cursing him for what he had done, is to pray for him that he will always have a situation where he can eat before the time so he can control his emotions better. Yeah, you never know. You never know where you stand with people.
It's true. It's true.
This last one, choose to live rather than die. Now, Daniel, I don't know if you are aware of how many people are actually succumbing to self-sabotage nowadays. People that actually try and commit suicide. And here's the truth. Those people that perpetually try and commit suicide and are not successful are actually just seeking attention. If somebody could just come alongside them and love them enough and give them God Memorandum in their hands, say, but you're a miracle. Why do you want to destroy life? You have life. Live it to the fullest. But I think we need to be aware when we see people, we see that they see the death in their eyes. You know, they're looking at you, but it's not registering. The lift is not going to the top floor. And I think you and I need to say to ourselves, what do we need to do to help people not to die from the inside, but to live their life of abundance that's been given them? What comes to your mind?
It's true. It's that thing that they say you go to school and then you get out, and then at 25 most people die, and then at 70 they put them in the ground. So
that's true.
That's that thing as well. It's just like, yeah, we work hard, but we need to live as well. So you need to look after yourself as well. You have some spare time or time in a day, even if you've got a very hard work, that you to look after yourself, because you need to be the one who's alive and living, not to be death ridden by all the pressures that's being put on you. Take a break, man.
That's true. That's true. So, Daniel, I'm going to skip the next paragraph because there's such an important statement in the middle of that page. Read it for us. You
are more than a human being. You are a human becoming.
What does that mean? What is the context here?
I would say that immediately, if you look at that, it's like what you are now, going through the book, you become something new.
True.
You add on, you grow. That's like human becoming. So that means that from the day you were born till the day you die and being put in the ground, that whole time you're going to be evolving as a person, because every time you learn. Now you're sitting here watching me and going through this book and learning some things that you didn't know before. You're becoming the person that you always needed to be, a better version of yourself.
I can only agree.
And that doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. In fact, he answers us in the next sentence. He says, you are capable of great wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We are all capable of great wonders, and our potential is unlimited.
Yes.
We just need to start believing ourselves. Because you see, if we see ourselves the way God sees us, it changes the game. It's a
Yes.
new game plan. I mean, we might say, I can't do that. But he looks at you and says, but I'm saying that you can.
Yeah, but I gave you the talents to do it. I
Correct.
gave you the power to do it.
And he actually
Yes.
then asked us a few questions. Daniel, you take us through those questions for you to realize what he's saying.
So you are capable of great wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Who else among my creatures has mastered fire? Who else among my creatures has conquered gravity, has pierced the heavens, has conquered disease and pestilence and drought?
Wow. He says, look around, man. And then he says, never demean yourself again. So
Yeah.
I want to give you liberty, Daniel. If ever you hear me just have a little bit of a moment and say, I'm so stupid, I want you to say to me, and stop. You're not.
You're not.
You might feel it right
Think
now.
so. Yeah.
You think so, but and I want to give you the liberty to say reverse that. So okay,
Yeah.
I felt stupid when I did not succeed, but I have liberty to fix it next time. We need to turn it into positive, because the tongue has got the power of life or death. You know, the good book speaks of Proverbs 18:21 that says that the tongue is the power of life or death. Speak it and eat its fruit. It's like if it's a juicy fruit that you want to really, really enjoy it.
And if you really think about it, and this is also something that I learned from Robert, is like, it's not that you think, now you say, okay, let's take for example, say, I don't think I'm stupid, but it's that small little gap, miniature little thing that happened now. Now you take that, maybe it happened early in the morning, or you drive and this guy swerves in front of you and you go, blah, blah, this guy, what the hell?
Yeah.
And that whole little 5 seconds of stress now you spread it out for the whole goddamn day. The whole day. You make it like a thing. No, this guy, you let that small thing influence the whole day.
Yeah.
And that is what it's about. It's like, no, don't do that. It was that small portion of it. Yes, it happens. Okay, so does it change the rest of the day? No, it doesn't.
You drinking the poison hoping the other guy dies. No, man,
yes.
if you're drinking the poison,
yes.
it's going to happen to you. Okay. And then he has an instruction to us. Never settle for the crumbs of life. Never hide your talents from this day forward. Oh, my God.
Yes.
So, Daniel, I'm commanding you from this day, never settle for the crumbs of life. And never hide your talents. You've got a talent of communication, which you didn't even know. And look at you now. Now you're here, doing the talk show with me. And I'm so proud of you. I want to tell you, when you and I started, it was sort of, IR Daniel. You know, we really battled with it.
Yeah.
But look at us now. It's flowing.
Yeah, because we took it.
Beautiful.
We took it. We took a talent and we worked on it. That's everything in life.
You're honing a skill.
Yeah. You put some effort in it. You put some time in it. You will become proficient in it. In everything in life.
That's fantastic. Now, that last sort of big paragraph is the comparison. I wish I was.
Yes.
I wish I was. Just sort of give us some. What is the principle that he's talking about?
This basically comes down to what in a nutshell on that is, now he says, like, okay, so now we know all of these things, and now we the author goes back to us like, now you say, okay, but I wish I was when I was a big though. So that is like also part of the procrastination stuff of it. So we want to, no, we leave it till we're big. No, we leave it till this happened, or that the wind must be right, the sun must be at the same. No, it's time for you, the change that you need to do, where it comes from this day forward. Don't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now. We
Don't,
start now.
don't
In this
wait
second.
when you're a child, when you're a teenager, when
Yes.
you're older, when you retire. I mean, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
So many people think that life is about the destination. It's not. It's
Yes.
about the journey.
Journey.
Enjoy
Yes.
your life while you are busy with it. Oh man,
Yeah.
life is a gift. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can choose what you want to do with your life. So just enjoy it.
Yeah,
And
we
then
know the destination. We all know the destination. Everybody is going to that same destination.
Yeah, we can be
But it's
pushing
the
daisies
journey
somewhere.
that makes it. It's
Yeah.
the journey that makes it the life.
And that's why it says enjoy this day, today, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. And it's sort of what your tongue to trip. Keep
Go
on
on,
going,
yeah.
keep on going, keep on going. So as we come to the last page, oh my, what a journey this has been, and what a letter this has been from the Almighty Creator. Take us on the top of page 104, Daniel. Here's the crux of what he's talking about.
Then he says, you have performed the greatest miracle in the world. You have returned from the living dead.
What does that mean?
That means is once you've done this book, you now realize who you are and what your talents are, and what you as a being can be, you're becoming. And that is, for me, is amazing, because now you realize that you are a miracle. You're not the throwaway part that you think you are, or the unworthy person that you think you are. No, you're worthy. You are the miracle. And that is, for me, returning from your dead to the living. Now you know you're alive, and you can do all these things. So now you need to go and do it.
In fact, if you're on this call right now,
Living.
type at the bottom, I am alive. Alive,
Yes.
alive, alive. Absolutely. And then he tells us, you will have no pity anymore, and each day will be a challenge and a joy. So forget the self-pity.
Yes.
Feeling sorry for yourself, not going to take you anywhere. But then he says, because you're born again, Daniel, he gives us two choices. He says, are you going to choose failure and despair, or are you going to choose success and happiness? I mean, if you look at those two, failure and despair versus success and happiness, the choice seems obvious. However, there will still be a small margin of people that live in the miserable part of wanting to fail and want to live in despair, because that is the way they attract attention. And with all due respect, if there's any person listening to this, this is not judging. This is an observation in love. If you always have to be the miserable person in the room to get attention, you need a check in your heart. There's something wrong.
And it's all about that choice,
Yeah.
You got the power to choose.
Correct. And I'll say the word heart. I mean, how do you spell heart? H-E-A-R-T.
R-T.
Look what's in the middle of the word heart.
Ear.
Ear. You need to ear with your heart. That God is telling you, stop being miserable. It's about success and happiness, so that you can make a difference to others, even if you don't feel like it. Because the more you actually have the happy juice, the happier you will start feeling. Have you seen there are more happy people in hospital than we have outside of society? Because they create a scenario for them, be happy. You are busy healing. There's a big difference between a scab and a scar. Now, if you've got a scab, it's sort of still raw, and if you pull it off, it will hurt. But a scar is a good sign. It says, I used to have a scab, but now I'm healed. And man, healing is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So now, Daniel, he reminds us of the 4 laws. Can you give them to us slowly? And I want the people to close their eyes and say, I'm going to go number 1, and you'll give it. Okay, law number 1.
Count your blessings.
Law number 2.
Proclaim your rarity.
Law number 3.
Go another mile.
Law number 4.
Use wisely your power to choose.
Okay, so let's do them all in a sequence. Here we go. 1. Count your blessings.
Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. Go another mile. Use wisely the power to choice.
To choose, eh? Fantastic. So I really think that is what God is trying to communicate to his people, that I want you to do something with your life. And that is number one, please at always time realize how blessed you are. Okay, and then why? Because you are so rare that I made you. There's no one like you. You are you, no one else. And then he said, go another mile for other people, because it's those who go the extra mile that feel that they contribute to society. And then lastly,
Yes.
watch how you choose. We've got the power to choose.
Choose wisely now.
Correct. And then I can tell you comes this sentence in this book that to me is everything. Daniel, give us the 3 stages.
This combines everything now, what we said now into one. Where he says, and one more, to fulfill the other 4. Do all things with love. Love for yourself, love for all others, and love for me.
Whoa. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Love for yourself, love for others, and love for your Creator. If you have those 3 things, you are able to keep those 4 laws, because it says,
yes,
if you don't have that, it's null and void. It just does not count.
That's the glue that combines the package in full.
It does. It's all about love. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, unashamedly, love is the solution. So then Daniel, he takes us and he gives us the last description. And he says,
I'll take the one before that where he says,
yeah.
And this was literally what happened to me. It's like, say, when he said, like, wipe away your tears, reach out, grasp my hand, and stand straight. Because when I first read this, I literally had to wipe my tears for the first time.
Can I be honest with you? So did I.
Yeah.
But you know, you knew that the creator of the universe is speaking to you. And it's like you said, wipe away your tears. Reach out.
Yeah.
Like I literally did. I put my hand out. She grasped my hand and stand straight. And literally, I just put my shoulders back and I realized I can proudly stand back. I can stand back because he wanted the right posture, because he was going to make a statement to me that he made to me at birth that I didn't hear. I still hear the part, his hand on my brow. And Daniel, what is that last statement that the Lord of hosts is saying to every single person that has been part of this journey?
Then he said, let me cut the grave cloths that have bound you. This day you have been notified. You are the greatest miracle in the world.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen,
the end.
You are the greatest miracle in the world. And Daniel, you and I are so grateful for Og Mandino, for this beautiful book that is written, simplistic yet profound. And that's why we spent 5 sessions. Tonight was part 5, the final one in terms of God's memorandum of him speaking to us. Now we know. If we just combine them all, and we want to encourage people, as this book becomes available, do what we did. And this is to read it every single day. You're going to take the God's memorandum and read it. It takes 33 minutes to listen to 1K. It literally takes 24 to 28 minutes to read it for those people who read on average speed. But you know what? For the people who immerse themselves and do it properly, we can see them change. It's like a butterfly. It's like the worm that became a butterfly. I can literally see that process of people becoming new. And that is my
renewing, from renewing from within.
Absolutely. So Daniel, what is your last line of advice to our listeners tonight?
It's a simple last sentence. You are the greatest miracle in the world.
And I'm going to say something very profound. You are the greatest miracle in the world. And Daniel and I agree 100%. Thank you, my friend. It's been a journey. And we say to all our people, remember, leaders are readers, but this needs to be duplicated and distributed with love. And go on, make a difference. So from Dan and me,
now we've done our job. It's now your job to first get the book and then tell the world about this. Go forth and let's tell the world about this, because everybody needs to read this book. Everybody needs to have their hands on this book and have an opportunity to change their lives as this has changed yours.
So I would like you to take the challenge that Daniel has just raised. I want you to put in the writing at the bottom says, I take the challenge. I will hand this book to somebody who needs it. Because I realize
Amen.
I'm the greatest miracle in the world. Thank you
Amen.
and goodbye.